This particular meta's end boards are some of the most disgusting that I have seen in a long time. Hey guys, this is Tom Fox, and in today's meta trend video, we're going to be looking at meta engines and end boards. If you guys want to see the combos of today's video, luckily 2 of them are already available on this channel, but if you want the remaining 2, well, leave it down in the comment section and hit a thumbs up for me, and I would really appreciate that if you hit subscribe. But I am working on an ultimate counter guide, so I'm going to prioritize that first before I even do it, alright? So, you know what? Let's begin. The most popular engines and packages in the first quarter of 2022 are P.U.N.K, Adventure/Brave, DPE package, and Scythe package. Now, having played versus Scythe for the last little while yes, it still sucks to get stuck under its effect, it wasn't as bad as I initially thought, and as long as you build something to answer Scythe and you respect the Scythe, you too can win against it. However, if you disrespect it and you have nothing against it, then you can expect it to not respect you and shut you out of your extra deck. You know, it's give and take. Taking a deeper look at each of these engines, you might have noticed that, hey, they all work individually and they can sometimes even synergize with each other. So it is a good idea to mix and match some of these engines as long as they provide the right synergy with the right core deck that you are playing. And seeing that P.U.N.K and Adventure are from like Grand Creators, this kind of makes Grand Creators the most influential set to kick off this year. So the TLDR of each of these engines. The P.U.N.K engine is a combo package leading into the Hulk Aurorazon combo. The core monsters are level 3 psychic tuners that offer a search upon paying life and can generate a second free tuner through Foxy Tune, making Emergency Teleport a high impact spell card. If your deck can synergize with the Hulk combo or have free bodies to synchro with, it can help construct some of the most unbreakable boards in the game. The Adventure/Brave token package is now played in 2 ways. The common way is to use them as a control package, the quick access to the Griffin Omni Negate and the Draco back bounce. One key restriction to this engine is if you want to use rights, you cannot use any normal summon monsters effects during the entire turn. Commonly forgotten, one of the biggest misplays that lead to some of the weirdest deaths. Alternatively, synchro players have been using them as an engine for a combo extender, such as level 4 token, level 3 enchantress, or a level 7 Griffin for a fast Baron. This engine is why single hand traps feel pretty useless right now. And yeah, to be inclusive of last year's leftovers, DPE package, it gives you a free recurring non-targeting pop via any 2 effect monsters to go into the Predaplant Vert Anaconda. But more annoyingly, that Celestial in the graveyard will end up giving you a free Pot of Greed. And drawing into a Fusion Destiny isn't even all that bad. You know, surprise, you wasted all of your hand traps and now I have DPE. As for the Scythe package, to summarize it, make Dagda, set Scythe, Beatrice, dump Scythe, Scythe summon, Scythe Ooga Booga, Scythe wins. Perfect. Now that we're on the same page, as you can see, these engines synergizes really well with Swordsoul, Virtual World, Phantom Knights, and Dragon Links, and I think these are some of the most popular matchups out there, so we're going to be looking at their end boards. First end board, P.U.N.K Swordsoul. The cards on the left side of this chalkboard are the cards that we want to see in the opening hand for P.U.N.K Swordsoul. Emergency Teleport is a 1-card combo, and when you pair it with the Tenyi Ashina or any of the level 7 Tenyi, it means that you can go into a quick Baron, and with a quick Baron, the rest of the combo is much safer. However, that doesn't mean that opening a Swordsoul monster is bad. If you have a full Swordsoul combo next to this, it just means that it's super safe to begin with. But on top of that, you can definitely just use the Emergency Teleport and double Tenyi to build this exact same board without even needing to open a Swordsoul monster. So that's why it's fantastic. If you guys want to see the combos, you guys can definitely check it out in my P.U.N.K Swordsoul deck profile. It's probably linked in the description or on the side panel, and it'll be one of the featured videos at the end card. And in terms of what we're seeing on the board now, so in terms of the board side, the lower the number, the more common it is to read them on the field. So we have Baron, we have Chixiao and Blackout as the most common openings for Swordsoul. And as for follow-ups, if you have double Tenyi opening, then you're likely going to see a Chao Feng on the board. And if you have a Long Yan or a Blackout hard open into the hand, then it's probably going to be followed up with another level 10. Either be a Chen Ying or the Sinister Long Yan. Disruption count. Number 1, Baron's Omni Negate. Number 2, Chixiao's Monster Targeted Negation. Number 3, Swordsoul Blackout to pop 2 cards. Number 4, the Light Lock coming from Chao Feng. And number 5, maybe a Chen Ying or a Long Yan on the field as additional banish-based disruption. But those are like hard triggers that you have to force, and a smart player would be able to play around them. For virtual world boards, we're going to go 2 ways, both Brave and P.U.N.K. Starting with the Brave engine, Rite of Aramis and a standard virtual world combo. It's pretty easy because it's usually Kowloon plus like a Lulu. But look at the board. It's insane because we're dealing with Baron, we're dealing with Chen Ying, we're dealing with Shen Shen. We have a live Chu-Che, we have a Beatrice that's tossed 2 extremely powerful cards in the graveyard, Artifact, Scythe, and the Snow. And the Faithful Adventure is kind of left over. But how do you get the level 10s on the field? It's because of the Faithful Adventure package, because we get to get the Brave token, level 4 plus a 6 tuner that gives you your Baron. And then for the other 10, we have a level 3 plus a level 7 Griffin, that's the other 10. And then you have Shen Shen. Everything here just works really well together. And in terms of the disruption count wise, Baron Lafleur is either a negate or an Artifact Scythe, or both, because if you try to negate the Baron Lafleur, it's going to negate you and summon the Scythe out anyway. Disruption number 2 is going to come from the Snow, because Snow is in the graveyard, you have one free Book of Moon, and speaking of the Book of Moon effect, because the cost is to banish cards in the graveyard, you get to activate Chen Ying at will, so it gets a pretty easy proc. And I guess the next disruption is going to be the Chen Ying of course, and then finally the Chu-Che on the field is going to be able to pop a face-up card on the field, and if Shen Shen's on the board, that card is going to get banished. So that's a lot of disruption. Quite monster focus heavy, but because it's layered between the graveyard, the back row, and the front row, this is not an easy board to break. If you let someone full combo like this, you need like mass removal to take care of business, and you still might be stuck under a Scythe lock. If you thought the Virtual World Brave was really strong, check out Virtual World P.U.N.K's end board. Albeit that this one is not as Nibiru safe when it comes to like starting off the combo, but there are points where you can still get the Baron, which is why it's still pretty decent. And if your opponent has nothing, this is an FTK for sure, because there's no way that they can drop loot this board. There's no way that they can dark ruler this and get away with it, because Chu-Che is live and this thing is super layered. The thing about Virtual World's disruption now is that it is layered beyond belief, and the only swap is you use Emergency Teleport for a Z-Man, or you have a Z-Man opening and you have also the Emergency Teleport for like other cards. But having Lulu in your hand, you don't even need the +1 because Juju is going to get summoned out. In terms of the breakdown of how to set up this board, if you want to see a combo video of this, leave it down in the comments section, and make sure you smash that thumbs up button, and maybe I'll just demonstrate it all in one of the upcoming videos. So in terms of like the board now, in terms of disruption, number 1, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon for monster negation. Number 2, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. This one summoned out from the Muddy Mud Dragon, and an additional level 3 tuner, because Muddy Mud Dragon is a dark dragon after all, and a level 3 tuner will help you bring out Hot Red Dragon Archfiend very quickly. Then there is a Baron summoned out through the Colt Wing plus a level 6 tuner. Really easy to make, and you can use Lao and like just revive more and more monsters, adjust their levels with Chu-Che, all the same. And this is going to go into your Scythe, and you also make 2 6s to go into Beatrice, dump the Scythe, dump the Snow, and there's a spot reserved just for Snow to book someone. Now to fully negate this board, if they try to use Droplet, it's going to be hard because they have to send a trap card. Otherwise Chu-Che will activate, and the Hot Red is going to negate the Droplet, and Droplet is once per turn after all, so that's going to completely stop the Droplet play. Even Dark Ruler no more can't stop this. You're just gonna stay alive thanks to Chu-Che. So in other words, they need a double negation to stop you, and even if they try to stop you, you have Baron to actually protect that. If they're using a monster based stuff to stop you with like a Gamma or something along those lines, then you can use Crystal Wing to stop that. This whole board is just layered with disruption, and even if they go Droplet for 3, they stop your Crystal Wing, your Hot Red, your Baron, well, you still have 2 cards. You're not going to burn your Chu-Che anymore. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to hold on to the Snow and the Chu-Che, and that's 2 additional disruption. And in terms of card hand advantage, they're using 1 for the Droplet, 3 for the 3 monsters, so they have 2 cards, and you have Chu-Che and Snow for 2 cards, which I think the math checks out here. If you guys want to see a combo video just showing you guys each of the meta combos, and then you guys can like rip it apart if you want, by all means leave it down in the comment section, leave a thumbs up, and if this video hits a certain number, a certain magical number, then I'll probably do it for you guys, all right, just for you. Before we continue, if you guys want to do me a solid, check out MSTmerch.com. if you want to be dripping in MST.TV for your deck, for your extra deck, your main deck. We've got some Carbon Series sleeves for tournaments, we've got some foil sleeves for your extra deck, or if you want to do your entire main deck, that's up to you. If you want to protect your existing sleeves with over sleeves, mats, stuff along those lines, check out MSTmerch.com. It's a fantastic product. I love it. I basically sleeve all of my stuff in it already, which is really good. And on top of that, the foil sleeves are amazing, and new colors are coming out. And as for mats, there's gonna be something new coming in the very soon future, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for checking it out. Really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and let's continue with the next 2 boards. Okay, Phantom Knight's Brave. This is the diamond standard of today's meta. If you can't beat this deck, then you're going to have a really tough time beating any deck, to be honest, because this is one of the more common decks out there. So DPE Scythe is the key combo here. So disruption number 1, DPE. It's a recurring disruption, so it's also the board breaker. We also have Artifact Scythe. We have Fog Blade to negate your effects. We have Graveyard effects to keep ourselves alive, but if there's a Break Sword can make the Rusty into another disruption. And also the Scythe activation is going to be very hard to stop because there's also a Griffin Rider on the field to negate almost anything. And once you're Scythe locked, if your deck requires the extra deck, you can consider that game GG and move on to the next one, because the amount of damage that's going to be dished out, the Brave token itself is already 2k, and the Wandering Griffin Rider is also 2k, DPE is 2k, everything is like within reach. It's like a mid-range reach, but they're all hitting hard enough to take game from you, and they can break the board really easily, because like Draco back spins a card, DPE pops a card, Fog Blade can just, well, you can just go into like another break zone and break another card. There's just so much going on here, and if you're unable to kill them, you're likely going to get OTK'd in reverse. The final boards that we're looking at is going to be the Dragon Link Brave. This is just picking up a lot of popularity, and the boards are deceptively strong, with the opening hand only requiring like Rite of Artemis or Foolish Burial or one of the ladies. You can go into a Black Metal Dragon, you can go into a Red Rose Dragon, anything that generates 2 dragons, you'll be able to build the entire board. I think the hardest part is actually just opening the Rite of Artemis, but that's like a 6 of, technically a 7 of if you include the Foolish Burial. It's incredibly powerful to start with a negation on the field while you build your entire board. And the negation never really leaves the field even when you use the Griffin, because it's turning into a Baron, and that leads to additional synchros, additional plays, and you can even end on a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. And this board, although it only looks like it has 3 monsters on the field, the adventure token package, most of it will be sent to the graveyard, pop for like Rocket, Tracer, and stuff like that. But it's still really strong because a Snow got put into the graveyard thanks to Shooting Visor Dragon, and that Snow is going to activate multiple times. Even if Baron negates its effect, the Seal is going to be the face-up bounce. We have the Fairy Tale Snow to book something face down, and if you use the Fairy Tale Snow first and leave it on the field, Seal can put it back into the graveyard again. Even dodging effects guarantee that it was going to go through regardless, and then do another bounce. It's pretty ridiculous, and even if the whole board gets Dark Ruler no more, you can still summon out the Snow, and you can even chump block with Hieratic Seal's effect, summoning out like a Destrudo onto the field, giving you a nice strong follow-up as well. That's what this board is about, and it doesn't necessarily have to go into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss either. It can go into IP Masquerena or Borreload Savage Dragon for additional negation. There's a lot of protection here, and we're talking about 3 disruptions just from the Snow and the Hieratic Seal, and then we also have the Borreload Savage or the IP Masquerena going into Unicorn, spinning another card. This is just layered disruption all over again, and even like mass negation isn't going to completely get you all the way there. As I close out this video, here's some fun tech choices that you could use to stop out a lot of these engines. One, Gozen Match, picking up a lot of popularity, and most of the engines, like Brave Engine, it uses multiple attributes. Even the P.U.N.K engine uses multiple attributes, which makes Gozen Match like a fantastic way to shut people down. Token Collect to shut down Brave tokens, shut down like the Swordsoul stuff as well, also fantastic. Nibiru +1, if you can get Nibiru with another card and wipe an entire board, it is totally worth it. That's why Nibiru is also picking up popularity. They're just thinking it's worth it enough to like hard open 2 hand traps and try to get rid of that pesky Griffin, and you will be able to win. I've seen a lot of more main decks with Nibirus now, so don't be surprised if you see a lot of Nibirus out there. And that's all I got for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button for me. If you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV, hit subscribe, ding that notification bell. We are doing Ultimate Gounder Guide very soon. I'm going to be working on it next week with a very special guest once again, and you guys definitely don't want to miss out. So stay tuned for that, and don't forget to check out my Twitch at MST.TV_Tombox, where I clap a lot of people on Master Duel. Oh, wait, what do you know? All right, and I'll see you guys in the next one.